I'm sure that most Halo Wars fans are familiar with Isabel's explanatory speech on Atriox, given at the beginning of Halo Wars 2's second level. And with the recent release of the comic series Rise of Atriox to hardcover, I thought it would be prudent to make a video discussing the specific events that Isabel only mentions. Let's get started. Much of what we know about Atriox's early history comes from two artificial intelligences, Isabel and Seth. Shortly before the second battle for the Ark, Isabel was rescued by Spartan Red Team, and subsequently brought aboard the UNSC Spirit of Fire. She gave Captain James Cutter an overview of the history of Atriox. Seth, an artificial intelligence serving aboard the Spirit of Fire, and one we know very little about, created an in-depth analysis of several key events in Atriox's ascendance to power. Both resources will be referenced, with an emphasis on the latter. One of the first recorded incidents involving Atriox occurred at an unknown UNSC outpost. The Jiralhana warrior was deployed alongside 39 other brutes, and participated in a merciless attack against a rapidly dwindling number of Marines, and was in fact responsible for killing the last holdout, one Sergeant Jessica Kress. Atriox was then taken to a Covenant base on the planet Algolis, being the only survivor of the onslaught against the UNSC outpost. At this point in time, his persistent survival was noticed by a high-ranking Sangheili. This Sangheili brought concerns to the Prophet of Truth about Atriox's potential influence due to his durability. Under Truth's advice, the Sangheili carefully queried Atriox on his devotion to the Covenant's great journey. When Atriox expressed doubts, the Elite reported back to Truth, who instructed him to slyly eliminate the disillusioned brute. The Elite's plan was carried out during another attack on a UNSC base, when Atriox was again faced with the last human soldier. The brute toyed with his prey while making openly hostile statements toward the Covenant. A Jiralhana under the direction of the Elite attempted to kill Atriox for what he claimed were blasphemous statements, only to be slain himself. Atriox returned to Algolis, presumably as the only survivor of the recent attack, and was immediately charged with murder and heresy by the Sangheili officer. The Elite tried to execute him, but was instead overpowered and killed by Atriox, and the Jiralhana who witnessed this were inspired to do likewise with the other Sangheili. Thus began Atriox's defiance of the Covenant. Atriox quickly began searching for potential allies to support his newly fledged Banished. Among the first of these missions occurred when Decimus, Atriox's chief lieutenant, was sent to the planet Otrak to obtain the support of a Kigyar scientist by the name of Sig Ron. After a small skirmish outside the Covenant research facility on Otrak, Sig Ron agreed to speak with the Jiralhana. She revealed to them that she had been working on what she believed was the ultimate Yanmei army, which she had control of through the use of a device which mimicked hive pheromones and sonic signals. However, she decided that it would be better to eliminate the Banished squad rather than join Atriox, and swiftly turn the Yanmei against Decimus and his brutes. Unbeknownst to Sig Ron was that Atriox had also landed on Otrak, and when he appeared in her facility, was able to eradicate her Yanmei soldiers with ease. Sig Ron fell to her death after attempting to escape by means of a Yanmei drone, when Decimus shot the drone down with a plasma pistol. To Decimus' initial dismay, Atriox chose to destroy the device controlling the Yanmei hive, stating that those warriors who would join the Banished would do so of their own free will, not because they were merely being used like tools. An important milestone in Atriox's growth and prominence came when he recruited Sangheili shipmaster Let Valir to the Banished cause. Atriox attacked a Covenant base in order to draw the shipmaster down to the surface, a tactic which proved effective. Valir pursued the Banished forces into the storage facilities of the base, but found only their leader, seemingly abandoned by his forces. At this point, the Jiralhana feigned to surrender. His true intentions were made clear either before or during the phantom ride to Valir's ship, the Enduring Conviction. Atriox and his forces were able to overpower the crew of the Enduring Conviction, though it is not explicitly stated how this occurred. After subduing the crew, Atriox began to persuade the shipmaster to join the Banished, citing the shipmaster's waning faith in the Covenant and their great journey. Atriox claimed to be aware of Let Valir's doubts through intelligence gathered from raids. The Banished leader, intent on proselytizing the shipmaster, offered to provide for his vessel and remaining crew, the only things for which Valir still held true loyalty. The Sangheili eventually acceded, pledging fealty to Atriox and lending use of the Enduring Conviction assault carrier to the Banished forces. Atriox promptly made good on his deal with Valir. He directed the ship to a hydro-processing facility on Ansget 4, a human-controlled world. Thus, he affirmed his alliance with the shipmaster and maintained his aggression toward humans. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. Comment down below on which Halo character you'd like me to discuss next, and don't forget to subscribe. Until next time.